Nick says you have a great work ethic. Why do you take so much pride in what you do every day?
Just not being selfish, man. You know, like I say, like, if he goes out there, he got us our load, man. Like, I take pride in making sure, like, I'm a part of this business. So, it means a lot to me. And, you know, my work ethic says a lot for my name. And my name means a lot to me. You know, I just want to be a man of my word and just give out my all, because at the end of the day, like, I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my family as well, on top of keeping the business going, because in order for me to provide for my family, I got to have a good work ethic, just in order for customers to want to do business with us. You know, if every time he books a load and I never meet the time, heck, I show up late, don't come in when I got a load on my back, you know, that separate, like, you know, just like agreement with other people, customers and stuff like that. So I'm hurting myself, honestly. So it just been me, man. Like, my dad always told me to be a man of my word and make sure you got to work hard. And then out here in this world, if you don't work hard for something, you don't even grasp nothing, because nobody gonna give you nothing out here in the world. So, but like I say, man, just to provide for my family, give my kids a better life, make sure they got, you know, bills being paid. And shoot, I like to have fun too. I have my little kids too, so I know I ain't nobody gonna just give it to me.
No.
You know,
Definitely not. Gotta go out there and grab it.
yeah, man, and shoot,
Work for it.
yeah, you go to the grocery store with $100, you might leave out with 3 bags. So shoot, hey, man, that don't work, don't eat.
That's real life right there.
Yeah, man. So I just try to grind hard as I can. The more I put in now, hopefully I don't have to do this much when I get older. I can relax and be more settled, more chill, so I don't have to be working while I'm 60, 70 years old, man. Just trying to put mine in now.
That's real. That's very real. On that note, tell us why it's so important to be a great role model for your family.
Like, I'm like real, like, you know, I'm religious, you know, as far as believing in God. And being a good role model is like just setting a path. Like, as you go out in the world today, man, you see more men not being men, women not being women, like not fulfilling their role as they're supposed to. And it's like, I know how hard I had it, and it seems like every day to me the world's getting worse and worse. So I just want to be a good role model, so my kids won't go through some of the things I go through, so they can have a better life. And just in case I encounter anybody, man, I want people to see me as a positive person, or somebody who they could look up to, as in not like being like me, but just a positive role model to influence anybody who go through anything. Cause life hard, you know. That's why I don't mind like telling people, like, man, you know, I done been through some things, but that don't mean that's the end of you. As long as you keep fighting and believe that you can do what you got your mindset to do it. So being a positive role model just help the world, because if everybody would be more positive influence on other people, it might cause a lot less of the stuff that we see today in today's world. You know, killing, all this craziness in the world, people stealing, don't want to work for nothing. I just want to let people know, like, man, it's hard, but it's alright to go out there and grind to get what you want. And the more people you can influence to do the right thing, the less people you got doing the wrong thing, the less trouble that's on you, the less people stealing, less people you got to worry about killing, less people you got to worry about trying to take what's yours, you know. So that is my biggest reason for being a role model, man. Just try to help not just me and mine, but the world, because the more people you influence, the less people you got doing the wrong thing. And that's be more safe and place. Like I say, especially with kids.
Yeah, I mean those small interactions every day, if you're positive with other people, that can make a big shift in general, and just the way others perceive you and how you act can have a kind of a big influence on others and how they treat themselves and how they act. So
you're right.
I totally agree.
Like you say, man, you never know what thing you can do that can change somebody's life. Like, I had an incident, like, when I was young, I was at Fort Jackson, I was in the military, like, it was this guy that came up to talk to me randomly. And I just was talking to him, you know, encouraging him, you know, to read the Bible and go to God. And this guy told me at the end of the conversation we had that I never met a day in my life. Like, man, I appreciate you. Like, what you said to me just stopped me from killing myself. And that was deep. And I was like, wow. And I was only like 20 years old. This guy was like, shoot, probably in his 40s, man. So I'm looking like, man, you know, you never know what people are going through. And being a positive aspect to their life could change their life. And just to hear that made me think a lot as I got older. Like, you know, just be mindful what you say to people and how you say it, and don't be so quick to judge people when you see them, and it's okay to give people encouraging words or positive things throughout their life, because like I said, that man said he was going to take his life, and to know that just my little words help them and save them, that means a lot.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, man, like, that really changed me that day, like, because I never encountered a situation like that, and as being that young, like, I'm in my party phase pretty much, so it's like, dang, bro, like, that really can speak life into people.
There's a lot of people that are going through it, and you don't know, and you think there might be that, you know, they look happy on the outside, but you really don't know how they're feeling on the inside, and then, you know, your words can have such a powerful impact.
Yeah, man.
Like you said, change their life, really change their life.
You're right, because a lot of people got to put on the face because you never know what people got going on, and you got to put on this face and maintain and carry on because you got somebody looking at you, or somebody looking up to you, and you don't want to let them see you fall, but, you know, I would advise anybody, man, don't let your pride take you down. It's okay to fall short. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be like emotional sometimes. But the thing about going through things like that, it's not about when you get knocked down. It's about whether you're going to stay down or whether you're going to get back up. You can't let no situation defeat you. Once you accept defeat, then what you got more to look into. Knowing that, hey, it might be hard. I might get knocked down 6-7 times. But I'm going to get up every time. And eventually, you're going to start getting knocked down and you're going to make progress and keep moving forward. Don't mean it ain't going to happen again, but you know once it happened, again, hey, I done been knocked down 20 times before. One more time make it hurt, I'm going to keep going. So, I would just advise that, man.
What can you recommend to other truck drivers that are trying to raise a family and also be successful in their driving career?
I would tell them, like, really consider, like, is this something you want to do? Because at the end of the day, like, being in the truck and raising a family, it got its pros, it got its cons. If you're going to be a person that wants to be at home all the time, then I wouldn't advise you to go into trucking unless it's something like, you know, a dump trucking thing where you can be home every night. But I would tell them, if you do got a family, raising a family, you in the truck and you don't go home every night, just keep pushing. Because at the end of the day, man, you know, even though you don't be there, you're going to miss some important moments, but that's what it consists of. So you got to really make sure that just sacrifice something you're willing to do, because you're going to be away from your significant other and your kids, you know, but it can be lucrative at the same time. So, you know, if you can find something to take care of your family the way you want to and live the life the way you want to without a truck, then hey, try that. But if then you know this is your niche and this is your thing, then you got to just keep driving. You got to keep knowing that, have a plan, have a goal to know, like, I'm driving trucks now, but I'm saving up to be able to be with my family more once I get to where I want to be. So, you know, just got to stay positive. Keep your mind clear as possible, and don't think about what's going on at home while you're in the truck or when something going on. You know, take your time, take breathers, you know. It definitely take your time off. Take some time to yourself as well with your family, because, like, it can get stressful out here. And also, don't take your work back home with you, and don't take home back your work with you, because it'll get a lot on you, man. So I would tell anybody, if you drive a truck, you know, you're raising a family, like, stay positive. And if you can, if you got you got your kids or your wife, whatever the kids may be, if you can get them in the truck with you sometime here and there, even if it's something that's going short, coming back, let them ride with you. Give them, you know, give them an experience of what you're doing, so they can see how it is, and then give you more time to bond and be with them, you know, because you still got to take care of them. And this means taking care of them, you will have to overcome the fact that you can't do a lot of the things that you would normally do if you were at home. So just don't give up, keep driving, man. Some people just go out there and do it because they figure it's a $1 million overnight job, but you got to grind, put in what you get out of it. Then once they get into it, they realize it ain't easy as they think it is, messing up the rates and stuff, like, so, you know, we gotta stay true to the trucking game for the most part, because nobody understands it if you never been in it.
Yeah, I think you have to incentivize people, and I think that's what Trusted seems to do well. So
Yeah.
it's from what I've been hearing so far.
Yeah, man. Nick said he does a good job, man, like staying on them, keeping up in contact with them, letting them know what's going on, and see if they can get, like, somebody to kind of expedite the situation as quick as possible. But, you know, ain't but so much you can do when you got people who hears it but don't want to do nothing about it. But hey, he fight with us. I give him that. You know, even after hours, something going on here, he get answer the phone, get back in touch with you, or try to reach out to make sure things get handled. So that's one of the reasons why, like, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, this one of the best jobs I done had with the company, period. You know, because some people just like, well, hell with it, I'm at home, I ain't worrying about that. You in the truck, not me. But you know, he go out his way, man, to try to make sure things happen, and that be the biggest thing that I like about it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely what you want from your, from a business owner and your boss in a sense to be involved as well, and looking out for you in every sense.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't do that, man. I ain't gonna lie. You have workers that get paid by the hour. They don't take consideration that maybe the person that's driving the truck is getting paid by the load, and they gonna take their time because they got to work 8 hours, however many hours. When you got to get to your next destination, you might have a time hack before you leave from here to get there, because it should be an appropriate amount of time, but you got people who just don't care. And man, you got to deal with that. And that's one of the harder things that you got to overcome and overlook. We're doing this right here because you get frustrated. And you can't let your anger or your frustration get the best of you, especially when you're talking about getting the job done, being out in traffic and staying focused without causing an accident or watching out for other people, because you can only control what you will do, but it's best to be able to be vigilant. Just in case you see somebody swerving, okay, let me be careful when I go around this car and not let your frustration get the best of you, because people really don't care. That's the crazy thing. People don't care about nothing but self. And a lot of them don't even care about themselves. You can tell that by how some of them live, man. But part of life. Just keep pushing and drive on.
All right, Eric, so how did you exactly get in touch with Nick? And why did you end up trusting him and trusting Cartage Solutions?
Well, actually, I had just left the company that I was with, and I was looking for jobs, and actually my wife sent me this one. Hey, I saw this job and it was hiring. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. So I filled out the application and whatnot, and Nick called me. And honestly and truly, it was like, like on the phone interview with people, I was clearing them out. And when the first thing I told him, I was like, man, I'm looking for consistency, someplace that like I'm not making a day, somebody who's gonna have work constantly coming, even though I know it go ups and down with the trucking business. And the way he came off on me was like, I just felt authentic. Like, it was authentic, man. Like, he was like, man, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm trying to do this, that, and that. And when he said that, I was like, okay, this is somebody I can relate to. It was just real. And I was willing to give it a shot, man, because I just felt down in my heart, like, you know what? I think this is gonna be the route to go. So I was like, I'm gonna hear him out. And he spoke to me, and he was sounding pretty sure and confident about what he was saying. So I was like, hey, I feel more confident with going, giving him a chance than most of the other people that I already gave a chance. So, hey, and it kind of went from there, man. And he been a man of his word ever since. I got to give it to him. So that what really made me start on with him, man. And then, everything he told me when he first talked to me, he proving it. Not just trying to win me to come over there and stuff, and then it changed once they get you in the door. So, he been a man of his word. So that's one of the main reasons.
What's something you could tell other drivers that are potentially looking at a career with Trusted or thinking about joining the team?
I'll tell them, man, if you're really looking for some place that you want to be dedicated to and gonna really have somebody fight behind you and really want you to win just as much as them, this would be the place to come. You got somebody that's understanding, who ain't gonna put the job before a person or their family, and really show that he know how to take care of the people on his team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks at everybody as a team member and not just somebody that's underneath him. He didn't build his brand, and he bring you on to his brand and allow you to be a part of it. And like I say, he's understanding, man. He acts like a normal person, not just like a programmed regular person that's a boss. Like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this. Like, hey, listen, this is what we got going on. And if you don't understand something, it's not like you got to talk to 7 or 8 different people throughout. He gets back in touch with you as soon as possible. If you don't, most of the time you get in touch with him and he's like, okay, he reasonable. Talking directly to him, and he hearing you out, taking your understanding, and he's a fair guy. I can't say nothing bad about him, honestly and truly, not because I work here, because I ain't gonna lie and try to make it seem good because I work here with him or work for him. But my thing is, I'm a man of my word. If he was a shitty person, I was like, hey, I wouldn't advise nobody to come here, but he's not. Been a man of his word ever since, bro.
That's real.
Yeah, man. I would definitely tell him to give him a try, but don't come over here trying to take advantage of a situation that is not, because, and don't take your kindness for a weakness, because at the end of the day, it's still a job. It's still things that got to be maintained. But if you are serious about building your own, being better, and making money on a constant, even though it goes up and down, but not like a big gap. It's what you put in is what you get out of it. And as long as you want to come someplace that if you're willing to put in the hard work, the dedication, the BS that comes along with it, you got somebody that's going to back you up and going to stay grinding with you to keep you grinding as well. And that's something I can vouch for, not just from hearsay, but from actually going through the actual witness.
How has y'all's trust together in the company grown over the years and through the hardship that y'all have? I guess just the experiences that y'all have.
Man, it's grown a lot. It has, because it's like I talk to him like with Nick outside of like work stuff, and like he really like give me good advice to the best of his knowledge, and like, man, like he don't just like overlook the situations. And it's like I done been down, you know, and had my family, my kids, wife, stuff like going through things and stuff like, and he was like, man, you know, I hope everything be okay. And like he literally reaches out to check on me and how my family's doing on the weekends when I have like, you know, like surgeries and stuff like that, or complications, man. So the trust going a lot, because like I said, like he's been a man to his word. If he says something, he's gonna either try his best to get it done, get an answer, or get a problem resolved, and he's never yet not shown me that. And like I said, I've been going on 3 years since I've been. You know, if it was a lie or some BS, then I'm pretty sure he would have been exposed by now, you know. So the trust has grown a lot, man, because I noticed like he's shown me that he's willing to fight for me and willing to have my back with situations. Like I said, it was a time when I got into a little dispute with a guy, and he just rejected the load before he just made assumption and said, oh, it was my fault. He heard me out, and he was like, you know, hey, things happen, you know, and he gave me advice on how to handle the situation and move forward. Instead of just saying, you know what, you're wrong, you're gonna do this, you're fired, or something like that. He really hit me out and gave me solutions to a problem before he just judged. So the trust has grown way a lot.
That makes sense, and having someone that, you know, gives you advice and doesn't just berate you for mistakes or what, not even mistakes, but just experiences, and tells you how to do it next time, I think is valuable instead of, you know, someone that puts you down in a sense.
Yeah, man, and it makes it easier too, because a lot of people that you deal with don't know the means of being in a truck. They just know what they've learned by how to dispatch or be whatever they are. They know about trucks, but they don't understand what goes on with the driver in the truck. But to have somebody that's been on both sides, who has been on the office side of it and actually been in a truck as well, you know, so you get a better understanding to let you know that, okay, I ain't just going to smoke up your ass just to let you keep doing what you're doing, but I've been where you've been, I know how it is, and help you out the best again. That's a big thing. That helps out a lot, man. Having somebody with experience out here on the road.
What inspiration does Nick and Trusted Cartage give you?
To know that, you know, man, like I got securement with work, and to know that, you know, over time I can build and grow more. You know, just to be able to like have more throughout this situation, this process, and just like, you know, secure me for like being able to take care of my family, my bills, and stuff like that, man. Instead of like, you know, some jobs you might go there, like you might go to work today and say like, well, I don't know what it's gonna look like this week. I don't know. Majority of the time I know my finances gonna look, it's gonna be based on how I work. And you know, things happen when you can't make it, or you got appointments, sick and all that, but for the main part, security.
It's a real answer. And how do you think other drivers can be successful in this industry?
By dedicated, hardworking, and just putting out, man. Like putting out what you really want to see, not waiting for a handout. Willing to go out there and being able to assess situations and actually go in and take your time to do things on your own. Like far as like if something go wrong, before you just panic or call, see what you can do to help yourself out. You know, that'll be the best way I would say, man. You know, overcome your situation. Don't let the situation beat you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your Kenworth custom truck?
Oh, it's a 99 Chevy 900, and they got a 550 horsepower Caterpillar motor in it. Old school pretty much, but hey, you ain't got to worry about all the electronics on it. Pretty much mechanical more than the electrical stuff and all the new computerized. They're pretty good, man.
So that's what makes it different than like other trucks on the road. It's just a little older. I guess a little more horsepower in a sense, a little less electronic.
Some of them got about the same. Depends on what you got, but it's just like all the ignition stuff. Like it don't have no depth.
There you go.
So that's one thing. My other truck that I had, it had a depth system on it. The depth system went out. It's $12,000 just to get it replaced. But these, you don't have to worry about that. It runs better, less problems, and you don't got to worry about all the, I guess, like the sensors. Like if a sensor go out, it can cause other things to go out. This one really ain't got that much stuff on it like that, so that's one less problem you got to worry about. With a lot less money you can save too.
Makes sense. It's been reliable so far?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Runs great. Costs a lot of fuel though.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing.
Can't have everything.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. But hey, we make the best out of it as we go though.
And then on a personal and also career note, what challenges have you faced that have kind of led you here in this moment, and how did you overcome those?
Just by, honestly, man, just taking time to like analyze it more thorough and not let my emotions or my feelings get the best of me through the situation. And like, all right, like before you panic or before you lose it, sit back and just take a moment, relax, and really think about what's going on. And see what you can do and learn to control what you can. The things that you can't control, you got to learn how to deal with it and move forward from it. It'll be the best way.
Can you be a little more specific maybe about the certain hardships that you faced in this career and what it took for you to get over those?
Oh, well, honestly, man, you get like, when you in this field, you got to realize like there are going to be things that come like, man, I done got in an accident. I done had transmission went out, truck being down. So my thing is like having some place like you can be secured in, and knowing that having somebody that's understanding. That's why I'm still here, because like when I first started off here, my transmission went out in my truck. Matter of fact, and then right after I got in an accident with my truck, my last truck first. I was riding down the road, a guy was towing a truck, and when he turned, the truck that was on his trailer kept coming straight, and I hit it, and that sent me head on head with another car that I missed, a Honda, and when I hit him, it knocked my whole driver wheel off. So I had like, this is my job. If this ain't working, I'm not working. When you in here, save. Don't never think about what you're doing to spend. I would say save, because if I didn't have nothing saved up, it would have been harder, because you still got everyday life situation come on. You got to realize this is a man-made thing. It's not going to last forever. Anything can happen, and you're not driving for only yourself, but the people out there. So by being strong and honest, like I said, like having somebody like Nick was there to help, like having somebody that shows you securement and is a team player who's willing to help out, because Nick came to me and like, hey, what can I do to help on multiple and numerous occasions? So, just be strong and fight through it, and don't let the situation get the best of you. I could have gave up right then and there, but I didn't. You got to push forward and know that, okay, I'm working to be better and to get better. So, don't just take everything bad happening as it's the worst thing ever. Because I could have said like, man, my luck is bad. Everything happened to me. I just got in an accident. I took the best of it. Like, you know what? Nick is understanding. He's willing to work with me while I get my truck repaired and not just terminate me. And on top of that, I just got a truck that was damaged. I'm still alive, still able to walk, talk, breathe, and do things on my own. So, take the best of everything, no matter how bad it is, and just keep pushing forward, man. And always save, and don't just spend and blow your money when you know you got a job that consists of you putting back into your job as well as you getting out of it.
Hell yeah. And I bet that's also rewarding now, knowing where you're at, given what you've overcome. That's also shaped you into who you are today and made you tougher in a sense, because you can get through that. Like you said, you get knocked down, but you can get up again. So
yeah, for real. And not laying down and just knowing like this happened randomly, and that was the first time that happened to me. So now it makes me plan around that if it does happen. We all can think about what ifs. but it's different going through it and knowing how it is and making it through that suffering. So you can, like, you know, there's still another possibility that can happen. So now I'm gonna try to assess the situation to better prepare myself just in case there's another event that occurs again in a similar situation.
Has the company trusted overcome these challenges with you as well?
Yeah, they have, man. Because like throughout my situations that I've been through, they, you know, been there to ask any help that I needed or anything that they could do to help. Like Nick was there, you know, and they didn't just turn my back on me when I had down. Like when I'm down and I'm, you know, been out. It was there the whole time, calling to check to make sure I'm okay throughout, like my accidents or through the process of my truck getting fixed, or, you know, giving me other alternatives, like, you know, like, hey, we can go look at this place to get a lease a truck until my truck get back up and running. So, you know, Nick was there the whole time, giving me advice, giving me other alternatives, and giving me other ways to still be able to make money while my truck now, like I said, because if this truck ain't running, I ain't making no money. So he gave me other ways I still could bring in money, pay bills, support my family, and also he was, man, like even when it wasn't family that I could call on, and he was already taking the initiative to come call on me to make sure he couldn't do anything to help me out. So he was there the whole time, honestly.
So you'd say that the team had your back in that sense?
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Like one of the first time out of all the companies, like had my back. Like I ain't never had nothing like that, honestly, man.
And is there ever an instance where you maybe helped somebody else out where they were, and so maybe not the same, but similar situation where they were struggling and somebody in the team and you were able to kind of help them out?
Yeah, like, you know, like it wasn't quite as significant as mine, but you know, like far as like him calling me like for advice, or like I had a guy call me like, you know, far as like how to slide the tandems or getting directions or anything that they can do. Like, hey man, I got this going on with the truck. You give me, you ever had a problem like that? Just giving advice or giving a hand where I can. You know, if anybody calls me, man, I'm gonna help out any way I can if I can. If not, I try to help you find a solution to the problem. But you know, I don't mind doing it because, you know, as a team, you got to stick together. If I'm gonna be out here saying, well, it ain't my problem, this, that, and the third, you know, I'm hurting the team. Because if we got, let's say we had a contract of doing so many loads a day or a week, if I'm being selfish when I can help somebody right then and there, and I don't, if they don't pick up their load and get a drop off when I could have gave a helping hand, and, you know, hypothetically speaking, if we on a contract and we don't fulfill this contract, we lose. So if they lose, I lose, the company lose, and ain't nobody winning. So, you know, like they say, ain't no I ain't team, but you know, even if it's not a situation where it's not like that, man, it's always okay to give a hand because you receive your blessings on the back end, man. Just doing it from the kindness of your heart of doing good deeds, because you never know when you're going to be in a situation where you're going to need it.
You find yourself getting into a lot of arguments out here on the road?
I have got into a few, man. I'm not going to lie. But the only good thing about it is, like, you just got to learn patience. And like you say, like, sometimes, like, I'm not going to act like I'm perfect, and sometimes you just got to realize some things ain't worth it. You just got to walk off from it, man, because it can be detrimental. Because shoot, there was a time where a guy came in my face and started talking down to me. So hey, I told him, like, hey, you're not gonna talk to me like that. I ain't no child. So I guess he was the shift leader over the shipping and receiving. So he got pissed. So he's rejected the load. So I had to bring the load all the way back from where I went to take it to drop it off at, and burn my fuel and come all the way back. And then like that made me think about it. Like, man, you know, I don't want to sever a relationship over stupidity and not being able to control myself. That can cause the company a lot of heartache, pain, and trouble, you know, lose business on the company end, you know. So I had thought about that, you know, that was one time that I did, like, you know what, my reaction can cause a lot more harm than it can help. Sometimes you just gotta overlook it, you know.
Put the business first and say, okay, like I might not like that, but I know that, you know, if I do actually stand up for myself in a sense, then I guess I put the business in harm. So
yeah, you know, so I wouldn't say it would be a pushover, but you know, just judge your reaction sometimes. And sometimes you can't help it, you know. Ain't but so much anybody can take to a certain sense. So, you know, I just think before you just react, take a time to sit back, think about it, analyze it, just like, what is this really gonna cost? Because at the end of the day, you know, a lot of things can be resolved over walking away or just talking. Because a lot of people already come to work and not know how to leave their feelings at home, you know. So just gotta take accountability for your actions. Once you be able to take accountability for the things you do, things start working out better, man. Stop making excuses.
Hell yeah.
Coming out here with a lot on your mind, if you're constantly thinking about what's at home while you out here, and you're not focused, all it takes is a split second for you to just be zoned out, and you didn't drift into another lane or another car or truck coming head on. A lot of things that happens out here on the road can be avoidable. Some things are not, but a lot can, just by paying attention. And you don't need to be losing focus when you got 80,000, 50,000, 67,000 pounds behind you, because you can't stop that fast. You can't maneuver around things that fast. You got a higher turnover rate, and you got a higher chance of taking out more than just a regular car. So, just try to stay focused and clear-minded as much. And if you really got a lot going on, don't be trying to push yourself. If you're tired and you got to be here in 3 hours and you only got 3.5 hours, hey, be late. And don't let that bring you home, because you want to make it back home to your family. And, so, but you don't want to go get locked up because of something your fault that could have been avoided. So, just stay focused and, push through some of the harder times, and things eventually get easy.
Is there a moment that was most memorable for you where you're like, wow, the team really had each other's back?
Man, it's like, honestly, man, it's like, yeah, because it's like, whenever we go through something, like, Nick will always tell you, like, hey, you can reach out to this person, that person, or give us, like, names or numbers, like, we share our contact information, like, hey, or if I come to him with something, he be like, hey, call this person, call that person, they can help you out, they dealt with this, or they had a similar situation. So, it's like, I know I can rely on the majority of the guys here. And the main thing I saw Nick do was he tried to keep us in contact with one another and meeting one another. And just in case we run into a situation that we all can just give a hand out with, or if somebody call me or me calling somebody else. So yeah, it's definitely been that, like, having each other's back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. That's fighting for the same thing that you are, and like I said, we're on the same team.
That's right. Gotta work together.
Yeah, man.
Achieve goals.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Thank you so much for letting me ride with you today.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Why should other professional drivers join the team, and who do you think would be a good fit?
I think the other professional drivers should join the team, man, because if you're looking for stability and, like, a good place that treats you like as a family, who willing to work together, who are a team, this would be a good fit for them. And who should join the team is people who are willing to make a sacrifice, willing to be team players, and are not selfish, willing to be able to control what they can and don't worry about what they can't, keep pushing forward and have the desire to want better out of life, man. Especially when it comes to this field, like knowing what you're getting into and being okay with things going out of plan and being able to adjust fire to any situation at any given time would be the people, that should join. But like I say, it's definitely like a family-based business pretty much. Like, having one another's back, making sure that you ain't just a person who out for self-gain, because if you do it, it's not going to work and you're going to fail dramatically with that. So as long as you're willing to do that, man, that'll be a great fit, and that'll be to anybody who really wanted to do that, who's willing to make that sacrifice to be a team player.